thinking back at all the clients that I've worked with, I have a hard time thinking of like how I could have possibly gotten to that $10,000 mark.
It's method plus mindset. The way that we spend money, it shows what we value. Worth less goes really quickly to worthless. So have you ever wondered, how are people having $10,000 sales? How is this even possible? Well, today's caller had that question too, and we're going to find out what is the challenge with finding clients who value you. Alessandra, you're here. Tell us about what is the frustration with your business right now?
Yeah, so a lot of the clients that I feel like I've worked with, I've been doing IPS for 5 years now successfully. But I
Nice.
feel like my average has been around that like 2,300 mark.
Hmm.
And just thinking back at all the clients that I've worked with, I have a hard time thinking of like how I could have possibly gotten any of them to that $10,000 mark
Yeah.
and where I kind of went wrong in the process, I guess.
Okay, cool. So, okay, first up, just big belief. Do you believe it's even possible? Like, you see other people are doing it. Do you believe that's possible, or do you just not believe it's possible for you?
I definitely believe it is possible for all the posts I've read, they get me super
Okay.
inspired.
Uh-huh.
Um, for me, I think the problem now is that after 5 years of doing IPS, that's where the trouble has come in, and maybe that limiting belief has kind of only been solidified because of my own experience. So that's
Ooh.
where I'm at now for sure.
Okay, so let's take it outside of all these experiences of photography. Let's just think big
Okay.
picture. Okay, because
Okay.
I happen to know where you're at in New Jersey. That is my stomping grounds. I know that region really well. So, would you agree? Tell me if this sounds possible to you. Do you think that there are places in New Jersey and certainly in New York where someone could spend $1,000 on dinner? Do you think that's possible?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
I know someone who did recently in Atlantic City.
Okay, there you go. So it's possible to have a $1,000 dinner. Now, next question for you. Do you think it's possible to have a $1,000 meal at Applebee's?
Nope.
Okay. And
Maybe. I
certainly,
mean, if you're really
certainly,
if you're really determined, but
yeah, how much meals do we have to eat? So
yeah,
this is
for me,
the
no.
first thing the first thing that I'm talking about here is that a lot of times I think people think they have a marketing problem. And it's not often a marketing problem, it's a marketing positioning problem, because Applebee's is not capable of serving up a $1,000 meal to one of their patrons. They just don't have items on the menu that are priced high enough, nor would a client even head into Applebee's seeking that type of experience. So, as we're thinking about this, we know that there are restaurants where people spend $1,000, but just some are not able to do that. So, the first thing we got to ask is, Alessandra, do you have on your price list the ability for people to spend $10,000? Have you ever gone through an exercise of adding up, hey, if I put all my dream items down on paper, could they even add up to 10,000?
Yeah, I think so. So my biggest, I have different gallery wall templates that I like to mock up for clients and ordering appointments, and my
Mhm.
biggest one is probably still underpriced at 6,500 for sure.
Okay.
Still not as
So
not
if they
as
got a
high as
big
I.
giant gallery wall,
Yep.
6,500, what else would they add to close up the next 3,500?
That would have to be, so I try to get a lot of people to upgrade to my collective membership, which is essentially just like my baby's first year plan. So then that would be
Mhm.
an additional like $400 in the sale, which is not much. And then it would have to
Okay.
be an album
Okay.
of 30 to 40 images, and then that would get them there.
Okay. How much does an album of 30 to 40 images cost?
I sell them for $100 per image. So
So
20
there you
image
go. So
minimum.
$3,000. Okay.
Mhm.
So $3,000 would equal a 30 image album. Okay.
Correct.
So we would have to sell the biggest gallery possible. We'd have to sell a dreamy album of 30 images, and then that would get you there. So you do have the ability to do it. Do you, by chance, Alessandra, have the ability for someone to hit a $20,000 sale?
No, no.
There you
I mean,
go. It's cut off
sure,
there.
but no. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay. So I also like to think of, I love this quote. This is by an economist, and it's that it is better to make an ambitious offer and give yourself room to concede. So, if you can't find a way in a dream invoice, just even like in the your own space at home, just sitting there with an invoice and dreaming big, if you can't find a way to detail out an invoice that would hit 15 or 20,000, it's going to make it harder to hit 10 to 12,000. So we have to like allow yourself to grow more. That's why these restaurants, these Michelin type restaurants, they can easily have that $1,000 meal because my God, a bottle of wine might be $1,000. And that's just for one
Right.
patron, not including the wife that came along for the anniversary dinner, you know? So we have
Yeah.
to allow people to dream bigger with us. So the first thing I would say is that this is probably an opportunity to look at pricing and see what else could you add? Is it maybe time to do an upgrade? Now, since you've been in business for 5 years, that means you made it through the 2020s. Good job. So,
Thank you.
yeah, but in 2020 and beyond, we saw a lot of businesses change prices. There was inflation. There was, there's all kinds of things that have changed in the economy that has led people to adjust prices. So this might be a moment to take a look again and say, hey, is it time for a tweak? Have I kept up with the market? Could I move things up? Could you also add things like a Whopper item? Like we
Yeah.
have on our price list, we always let clients know this is not for everyone, but we have a product that is $10,000 all by itself. It's a painted portrait. So some people
Okay.
do choose to add that to their order. So I think what we're looking at here is partially we have a price problem. I think you almost hinted at this too. Do you have a mindset problem? Because we got to look at both. We got to look at the mechanics of how your business is set up, but also the mentality of how your business is set up. Do you believe that your baby clients might wanna spend $7,000 or $10,000?
I don't believe that, no. I don't.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, it's the 2 together. It's method plus mindset. Probably what's happening is that your clients are landing where you're comfortable for them to spend,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. So now let me stretch that a little bit because I mean, we are going to keep on landing in our comfort zone. Most people don't want to push outside a comfort zone. But if you're comfortable there, if all is well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So if you're fine with that, carry on. But what I know about New Jersey is that it's an expensive place to live. Wouldn't you agree?
Sure is,
It
absolutely, yes.
sure is. Yes. So everything there, the housing pricing is way more expensive. The price of school is more expensive. The price of if you're hiring a helper to help you or if you have a studio, everything is going to be more and more and more expensive. So do you feel that you are now at the quality of life that you've dreamed of, or do you think that there's more room for you to expand?
It's a great question. I'm the dreamer of our
Mhm.
family. So I think
Yeah.
there's always more. There's always like, generational wealth and comfort that can be achieved more. So like I'm always thinking, yes, definitely more. I'm happy
I
where I
like
am,
it.
but also always looking at the next step too and planning
Yeah,
for
you're
that.
dreaming of more. So if
Yeah.
you're ready to expand, that's one piece, but we have to do it in a way that feels good for you, but also good for your client because you can't just be arbitrarily raising prices. Sometimes that can feel icky. It's like, why do I just keep raising the rent on my clients? You have to be
Right.
giving more and sharing more as well. So I want to hear from you, Alessandra. Tell me about a time when you spent what you thought at the time was outrageous, like something way beyond the boundaries of what you would normally spend, be it a home purchase, a vacation, like what was an outrageous amount of money that you spent that comes to mind?
Disney Vacation Club membership. To a lot of
Okay.
people, buying a timeshare for $30,000 is ridiculous, but it means a lot to us and we use it like 4 times a year coming down to Florida from New Jersey. So for me,
Wow.
it's well worth it and it wasn't even a conversation. Like I don't really care what anybody else says. That's something that we value and have gotten our money's worth out of.
Okay, so
That's
here's
the first
you.
thing that comes to mind.
Okay, so I'm sure there are more because we want to dig deep and reflect on that because I think the more we understand how we make buying decisions, that's going to help us understand how our clients make buying decisions. So
Yeah.
here's you perfectly comfortable spending 30,000. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, do you regret that? Obviously not, right?
Nope. Nope.
Okay. That's
I'll
something I
buy
mean,
more points.
you said it instantly and you said it with pride. And so you would tell anyone, "Yeah, I got this thing and I'm really happy and this is what I value." What does that purchase say to you about who you are? Does that tie into your identity in any way? Does that affirm something
Yeah.
for you? I'm the kind of person who, what does that say to you?
I value traveling and family time. So, we'll go down there a lot, even if, it's just for a long weekend or something. I just like to spend a lot of time with my kids and, kind of just savoring these moments where they're still little. And, it's like magical to them. And then, if I ever feel like it wasn't worth it anymore, I could resell it. But right now, it definitely reaffirms into what I value, which is my kids and family time. So definitely
Nice.
that.
Yeah, so you see how easy all those associations are. The way that we spend money, it shows what we value. And I love that you said savor time with kids. Now, could you see that savor time with kids would be something that would also apply to portrait photography?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Especially because
Yeah.
I make it such an experience. I don't want it to just be like the photos are the only thing they're receiving from it. I want them to actually have fun in the sessions with their kids and
Yes.
I've had clients cry all the time, just of how much they love their family or when they see the images they're crying and it's just like that whole experience of taking the portraits and taking the time to do that and invest in it. It means something. And
Okay.
that's what their family.
S-
It's important.
s- So, what if I rewound it back and I said, hey, instead of this place in Florida being $30,000, if I say, hey, Alessandra, the place in Florida is only 50 bucks a night. What changes for you when you hear it's 50 bucks a night?
I won't even look at it. I've looked there's cheap hotels, and it's a great example. My sister-in-law and her husband come down with us all the time, and they will only stay at a Holiday Inn, and
Yep.
it's out of the Disney bubble, and
Yep.
I'm not interested. I could save a boatload of money if that's where we chose to stay, but I'm just not interested because it doesn't like the impact of staying at the deluxe resorts with the extra amenities and the transportation and convenience that comes along with that amount of money I spent. It's worth it to me. I'm not interested in saving money in that area.
Cool. I love how you just said, I'm not even interested in saving money in that
No,
area. That's great.
I'm not. Yeah.
Okay, so we're really close here because I think your understanding, and I think there's more reflection that you can do along this line, but you're understanding that the way that we value things, the way that it ties into our identity, the fact that spending more money doesn't make you mad, it actually makes you glad. You're happier to spend more money and you're almost like disgusted by the idea of spending less. I think we can all think of
Yeah.
areas in our life where we know this is a category I'll spend on, but so and so won't. And we almost judge them. Like, why wouldn't they spend that money? Like, what are they crazy? so,
Yep.
so,
Oh,
so
yeah.
yeah, this is how you need to relate back to your business now. You can think about how in your business, when you charge clients too little, you're telling them that what they're buying is worth less. And worth less goes really quickly to worthless. You're saying,
Yeah.
oh my God, why would I spend so little when I really value this so much? Why wouldn't I spend more on it? And there's actually something that happens when people have that throw up moment when they go, oh my God, I'm about to spend what? That it actually
Yeah.
ties them even deeper into what they're about to purchase and it solidifies that meaning for them. So I
Yeah.
do believe that when you charge more, you're giving your client a service just there because you're saying to them, you're the kind of client who this is what you value. We're going to make this a true experience you're never going to forget. And you're going to pay for that. I think
Yep.
that's really important. So I believe it is probably time to elevate your mindset, elevate your prices while you're at it, and start exploring this world of more gives more. And not that more is a bad thing, more is a good thing. So, obviously, in your market, there are people who will spend tens of thousands of dollars. You're in your market. You will
Yeah.
spend tens of thousands of
Yeah.
dollars on what you value.
Yeah.
And you
Absolutely.
also said you know someone who just had $1,000 meal, right? There are definitely people in your market who are spending big money like this. These people could be your clients as well. It's just about
Yeah.
tying in like finding the people who say, yeah, no, I value family. I'm going to put money
Yeah.
where my family's memories belong. Of course.
Absolutely.
So it might be time for a change there. It might be time to just move things on up. So, number one, what solutions have we found today? You got to make sure that you can build an invoice that actually allows you to get to $15 to $20,000. And
Yeah.
along the lines there, you could have even more extravagant products, maybe things you don't have right now. You could also, of course, up the pricing. It's been a while since you've changed pricing, so this might be the time to move. And I think just even doing a deeper dive into your business because looking, knowing what I know of your market, knowing the costs that are going to be associated in that market, I think that you may not be on the path right now to be a multi six figure business owner. Are you currently making multiple six figures of income?
No.
Do you want to?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay. So it's the two together. It's about like, how can you be rewarded as a business owner for planning smart, creating this mature and successful business? And at the same time, how can you give more to your clients? How can you give them in terms of experience, in terms of the way that they perceive what that they're being honored, what they value? So there's like all these things are tied into pricing. It goes so much more just beyond the dollars and cents. And so the more that you can dive into these areas, I think that will really change things for you. So I'm going to probably prescribe, Alessandra, that it might be time to dive into our Level Up boot camp. That might be something to try out.
Yeah.
Have you done Level Up yet?
Okay.
You have not, right?
I have. I have Level Up.
You have Level Up. Okay.
I do.
Boot
I have to
camp.
look back in it though. I have to look back into it.
Yes.
Refresh.
Right, refresh, because I think so many times, and what I've been noticing as we're running boot camp, especially with our current students, people like you
Okay.
who have bought it, months or years ago, but haven't had the chance to revisit it. I find that a lot of people glossed over that cost of doing business analysis section. And there's
Mhm.
especially like a webinar in there that like, here are the 3 most common pitfalls. Here are the things that everybody forgets to put on their cost of doing business. And it's so funny because I've got 30 people in this boot camp and over again, I guys, remember those 3 things? All of you have
Mhm.
missed those 3 things. So you have to go in again
Probably me.
and
Yeah.
yeah, really look and see, have you set your goals thinking about the future you? Have you really put things down so that you can achieve, like you're a big dreamer, are you on the path to achieve those dreams? I think you're on the path
Mm,
to keep doing what you've done, which is
yeah.
fantastic. I mean, hitting IPS sales of 2,300, very solid. But now, could we double that? Could you be at IPS average of $4,000? And what that would mean is that would mean that either you're going to work half as much, you're going to have the same amount of clients and make the exact same annual revenue, or you could take the current amount of clients you're working with and you could be making double the revenue. So either of these are possible. It's all about growth. It's about, are you growing your time freedom? Are you growing your financial freedom, or both? But I think it would be time to go dive back in again and see where tweaks might be important to make.
Okay. I agree with you on all fronts here.
Yes. But the good news is it is totally possible. You know that this is possible in your market. So now it's just a matter of, how do we make it possible for you, Alessandra?
Yep, that's where it starts. So I'm
Love it.
excited to learn more, get more into it. Thank you.
Very good. All right. Well, thank you for your time. Thanks for letting me help you fix your biz, and report back and let me know how the changes are going.
I will. Thank you so much, Megan.
All right. Have a good one. Bye.
You too. Bye.
Want to fix your biz? If you're a professional photographer or an aspiring pro, you need to join me in the best business group on the internet, Rise to the Top with Megan DiPiero. Ask your business question there in the group and you might just be my next podcast guest. Join me at rttt.life.